He is a member of the Augustana Vikings football team and the History Club. He was inducted into Phi Alpha Theta, the History Honor Society, last year. His other interests include hiking, hunting, and fishing, and spending as much time in northern Minnesota as possible. I have a feeling that that last one could be related to the first three. He loves traveling and learning new things about the world and people. Dan will exhaust his college football eligibility and complete his degree next fall. In the spring of 2011, he plans to backpack in the Middle East and polish up on his Arabic as he prepares to enter a PhD program in Middle Eastern Studies in the fall of 2011. Now, to fire your imagination, I invite you to picture Dan in the kilt that he wore home from his Distinguished Scholars experience during his freshman year. Please welcome to the stage Dan Schoen.
The kilt story is true. I've spared you all the everlasting harm it would have caused if I would have worn it today. So, as Nancy said, my name is Dan Schoen. I'm a junior here at Augie, majoring in both history and philosophy. First of all, I'd like to take the opportunity to welcome you to the college on behalf of the student body. We're very pleased that we have such a bright group of people here, and we hope that your experience so far has been positive and you've enjoyed your meal this morning. As someone that went through and personally benefited from the Distinguished Scholars Competition, it really is an honor to be able to speak to you today. I'll tell you right off the bat, I'm not here to make some kind of a sales pitch for Augustana, and I say that for two reasons. First of all, when I was at the same stage of my college search process, I had heard plenty of that already and probably didn't want to hear any more. And secondly, I truly believe that this place speaks for itself. So my goal today is to simply offer you my perspective on the Distinguished Scholars Competition and on Augustana generally. The importance of the competition to me is pretty easy to address. Quite simply, it facilitated what became one of the most personally significant and memorable experiences of my life. Because of my participation in this competition, I was fortunate enough to, as Nancy said, to be able to participate in the 2007 Distinguished Scholars Study Abroad trip. As sort of a history nerd in high school and before that, I had always sort of dreamed of spending some time in Europe and seeing the beautiful European countryside, the history contained there. But it was this competition that actually made that possible. So in March of 2007, Dr. Sandra Looney of the English department led about 15 or so of us on an eclectic and, in absolutely every sense of the word, unforgettable tour of England and Scotland. Although I guess in some respects, perhaps the term forced march might be a better descriptor of what we did than tour, because Dr. Looney is absolutely tireless, and she pushed us from dawn until dusk every day, and usually quite a ways after dusk, but quite honestly, we wouldn't have had it any other way. From the Tower of London to the gorgeous mist-covered hills in northwestern England, known as the Lake District, to the streets of Edinburgh, we saw more of the English and Scottish countryside than we believed possible. So for the study abroad trip alone and the opportunity that represents, I encourage you to do your best today. I promise that it will be one of the, if not the, highlight of your college career. The importance of Augustana in my own life is not difficult for me to quantify, but it's somewhat more difficult for me to express than the importance of the competition. I was not convinced to come here because of GPA statistics or because of job placement rates or any of the other figures that are a lot of times cited by college brochures. Those are important, so no offense to Nancy and the admissions staff, because those are really important things and you should consider them when you're making your college decision. But I came here because of the atmosphere and because of the people that I found at this place. So as you trudge through your college search, I encourage you to see if other schools measure up to some of the things that you'll find here today, some of the things that I'll try to highlight for you. Ask these other schools if their professors ever invite students who cannot travel home over the holidays to attend Thanksgiving dinner at their own house, because that does happen here. Ask them if their professors regularly take individual students out to lunch, buy them lunch, and suggest books and research material for courses unrelated to the professor's field of study, because that also happens here. Ask them if the president of the college will ever casually appear in a J-term course and spend more than 2 hours talking to students, not lecturing, but talking to students, and having a serious conversation about the ethics of alcohol consumption in society and on college campuses, because that happens here. Ask them if nearly every member of the food service staff, the wonderful people that have been serving us all day, will commonly know you by name after a couple of years at their institution, because that also happens here. So as I reflect back on my time here, I'm not sure if, is it that I love this place because my largest class this semester has 10 students, and every professor I have knows me personally and by name, and will know you by name if you come here too. That might be part of it. Might also be part of it the excitement that I feel in the fall air when I suit up in our beautiful new on-campus stadium, and the student passion that I see there. That's part of it too. I might love this place because the liberal arts, the focus on the liberal arts pushes you in directions and stretches you as a person in ways that you would never imagine or envision yourself going. My freshman year, I was a history major alone. That was it. At the end of that year, I had picked up an anthropology minor because I grew to love anthropology. And at the end of my sophomore and junior year, I just knew that I had to have a philosophy major. And each addition it was a spontaneous thing. It was an organic thing, spurred on by a discovery of my own interests, my own desires, and my own desire for the future. I could never have predicted a single one of them. It was something that just grew. Do I love Augustana because of the countless profound friendships I've made with a diverse group of people? Probably it's a combination of all these things that I mentioned and a lot more. The very best advice that I can give you is to open yourself up to the spirit of this place. See if it touched you, if it touches you as it touched me. If it doesn't, then I wish you the very best in your remaining college search. But if it does, if you feel what I felt 4 years ago on my Distinguished Scholars trip on a blustery February day, then I encourage you to seriously consider making Augustana your home, because you won't regret it. In a matter of months, I'll be moving on to the next stage of my life. And I remember when I was at that point in high school, I can kind of recall the apprehension and the uncertainty that I felt facing this departure from normalcy and this embarkation on this new life, this new world in college. But to be honest, I don't feel any of that now. I don't have any illusions about grad school being easy, but my vision for my future and for my life has crystallized during my time at Augustana. I feel like my destination is set, and I feel like my path is clear. I know I've been given the skills to overcome the obstacles I'll face, and most importantly, I've learned to enjoy the journey. And I've learned to do that among an incredible group of people at an incredible place. So if you feel these things, the same things that I felt when I was sitting in your place 4 years ago, then please join us here.